Welcome to a live version of Nick at Night. Tonight we're bringing on Eddie Colon. EC Details, House of Rags. What's the real story? Eddie, joining us now from Pocatello, Idaho, live, thanks to the modern day technology known as StreamYard. How are we doing tonight, sir?
Good. I feel like I've been on a lot of podcasts lately, right?
So, are you going to bring the energy? Because they got 50 people in the room right now.
I'm here.
Come on now.
I'm here trying to just clear the air because I feel like there's a lot of people just to talk shit and doesn't really know both sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like both sides of the story. But go ahead, Nick. Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate you. Everyone chat. Hello. Happy Sunday.
I'm going to give you one easy question, then we're going to dive into the hard stuff, all right? First of all, tell me, for the folks who are just getting into the live stream here, but I want this to be timeless, and I want this to keep working after it goes live. What is House of Rags?
It was a dream, bro. It's like, I felt like I was watching The Gladiator when this came up. So we'll talk more about this, but, you know, I've been working with this investor for a long time because people don't just invest in you. Does that make sense? So they don't just be like, here's $2 million, start your dream. They have to see if you're proven. They have to see that you know what you're doing, that you follow through, that you keep your word. This was actually a dream of bringing brands across the world that no one wanted to bring together into one place, but also how can we bring those brands to them? So Canada, shout out to Japan. You know, Japan, House of Rags is coming. We already closed that. They're waiting for the pallet. Australia, Brunei, Philippines, UK, EU's working on their site, but they have their product. That's what it is. It's just a dream to bring brands together, to brands that I've used in the background for a long time, or I started testing outside of YouTube, and I'm like, dang, it's hard to get here, and shipping's mad expensive, right?
Shipping is mad expensive. And you haven't been doing this that long. And House of Rags isn't that old. So all of a sudden, it appears you kind of come out of nowhere. All of a sudden, Pan's involved. I see a lot of smoke. And I think when there's smoke, there's fire. So I guess the first question I want to bring on is, who's really in charge here? Did you bring Pan on to just basically make money and he's in charge? Like, there are a lot of questions swirling, right? People want to know what the truth is.
No, that's fine. I'm going to answer it plainly, too. So let's go first one. First of all, Pan is not my boss. I'm not Pan's boss. Pan doesn't invest in me. I don't invest in Pan in a sense of money or monetarily. He doesn't own Thor. Pan is clean by Pan. What Eddie, you all have to understand too, like before the House of Rags, I was making a lot of money. A lot of people don't get that. They just see the YouTube
What were you doing
videos.
before? What was
I was assistant vice president, director of IT. And then that's one job. And then I worked for another person as another job, working about 30 hours a week. And then my detailing business brought in 60 to 80K a year.
Okay, so you had three main sources of income.
Yeah, and then I did.
So why should I care that you were making good money before?
Because I don't need people's money. That's what people don't get. I don't need Pan to make me money.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, I don't need him to make. This is not a brag.
It doesn't hurt though. It doesn't hurt to have Pan.
But it's not a brag. This is a thought, right? It'll be different if I was leveraging Pan's name like a lot of people do and make these videos saying, is it the best, or Pan sucks, or Pan this, Pan that, right? That'll be different. I'll be making money off his name. I don't do that. I've been defending him, right? That's it. But I don't need Pan to make me money. I make my own. I didn't go to school for like 30 years to be. I didn't go to school for 30 years to lean on people. I make my own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been that way. I hustle.
But a good team has a lot of great players, so you're smart to be bringing on Pan. I just, there's a lot of questions about you and Pan and the money, right? Because it's always like follow the money. So how did this thing come to be?
This is a good question, so I'm gonna answer it too. So in 2023, hear that it's 2025 now. I know it's early 2025, but early 2023, I was already working with the investor on other projects. And me and he's my mentor. He guides me. He helps me. Like, I talk to him 4 or 5 times a day. And you know what? I was thinking here, and I kept watching Pan's videos for a long time. And Pan said, hey, when I hit 1 million, he said this almost every other video, right? Keep it tight, keep it clean. Hi guys, us Pan, right? Keep it tight, keep it clean. He said it every video almost. When I hit 1 million, what did he say he was gonna do?
Start his own product line.
Start his own product line. Oh, bro, I heard that as look, if I can leverage what this other person did and taught me, why not help Pan do his thing, but also make that be help House of Rags be different, because we could sell everything else and be like everybody else, but how do we become different? How do we separate ourselves? What makes you want to buy from us versus everyone else? How do
you think Pan's getting a unfair attack from the people?
People. Here's the thing, bro. There's the same people that will praise him in one video are the same people that will probably talk shit in the text of somebody else, right? That's human nature.
I don't even think that's detailing. I think that's humans.
That's life.
We just
That's
like to
nature.
project. We like to project all of our stuff and just say, "How's the detailing industry?"
Yeah,
I think it's people
nature,
who are
bro.
really passionate about stuff.
But do I? Pan launched a video, and we could talk about that. But back to to answer your question, do I think he's taking unnecessary heat? I think when you keep writing, well, people don't understand. People are people, right? Like if I kept talking shit about a person over and over again, what did that do to somebody? You get them angry or they get depressed, right? If you keep talking about one person over and over and over again and smearing the name across the mud, you get angry. And you know, they've been doing that to Jamie and I for 3 months. And I've kept silent because if I say something, I lose.
What does it feel like to be attacked now that you're at the face of the brand?
I'm thinking about it. Oh, you know, and the song that Eminem say, win-win for you, lose-lose for me. Like if I say something, I lose. If I post something, I lose. If I don't say something, I lose. So it's like he's going through the same thing, because if the dude comes unhinged and he says something inappropriate, who loses here? Who loses?
I mean, Pan.
Yeah, if I say something, if I come off nasty, I come off saying something I shouldn't, or I launch a full-on attack, I lose. Jamie loses. And if I lose, Jamie loses, the investor loses.
Dude, you know what I would love to hear is like Pan's take on all this, because there's so much, like I said, there's so much smoke out there.
Yeah, there's
like,
so much stuff, right? So just to recap, like I've been talking to Pan for so long about this, but again, you and I can sit here and talk about Pan, but if we don't have his perspective, what are we doing? We're gossiping.
We love to gossip in the detailing space.
We were a bunch of bitches sometimes, bro. Sorry for my language. I just get super angry. I'm super passionate sometimes, bro. Like we act way different online than we do in person.
Bro, you exude passion. If there's one thing that's true about Eddie Cologne, it's the passion. Wait a minute.
Bring this. I got somebody. I wanna.
Did you get that?
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm seeing something. I'm seeing something.
Oh. So what is this? Is this Nick Gossiping at Night podcast? What are we doing here, guys?
Welcome
up,
to Nick
guys?
at Night, Pan. Ooh, now it's getting
Thanks for having
juicy. Leave a comment below, folks. How do you feel about Pan in the house? All right, Pan, it's time to address the controversy.
Pan, are you my daddy or are you my puppet master? What's up? Like let's let him know. Are you daddy? Like
beyond friendship, I ain't nobody's daddy. You're your own man. Eddie and Jamie, you run your own shop. You guys are fully responsible to Thor. I have no financial investments in Thor. It's even funny to me that we get to a point where we have to do podcasts like that because and I think maybe it's accessibility, right? So we're public figures in the sense of we make videos, and it's cool that we get people commenting and they have access to the owners of these brands or these distributors and all that kind of stuff. But wouldn't it be wild if people ask the same thing? Like, can you imagine them asking Gion that question, asking CarPro that question? Like, I remember the podcast on Thor where Frank interviewed Sky's the Limit Car Care. And the story was super interesting about CarPro, right? The guy started out, the owner, he's just a business person, has nothing to do with detailing. So fast forward 10, 15 years later, it's been accepted that it's a great brand, but nobody asks these kind of questions. And here we are having to make podcasts about justifying this and that. But
it's not even justifying. It's like, Pan, they see, all right, Pan, you've been to my house.
Yeah.
I'm super passionate about this because one thing I never want to do is take credit for anyone's hard work. I'm not that guy.
Yep.
That's one thing my dad taught me is there's only one thing I can give you in life, that's hard work, right? You can't escape the grind because the grind knows how much time you put in it. You can't fake it, right? You can't wake up one day and be like, I've done this. Like you've been to my house. You've seen what I've done before.
Yep.
Have I ever leveraged you for money?
Absolutely not. Never. And vice versa. This is for me, like a business relationship has to be mutually beneficial in the sense that there can't just be one calling the shots. There can't just be one doing all the work. And you guys came with a plan and we became friends even before you had approached me about starting this adventure, and you guys were to start Thor and distribution, and you knew I had this dream of maybe one day having my own brand, and so you came forward with a business plan, executed on it, and I'm just glad to be a part of the ride. But I do not own Thor in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, you're not.
This
I
is
don't
all
gotta
you
text
and
you
Jamie.
before I post the video, right, Dad? I don't gotta text you, right?
No,
Yeah. So
you're
Nick,
your own person.
I just want to know. There must be so many brands out there, Pan, who have come to you and been like, "Why did you go with House of Rags? Why didn't you consider us?" You know,
Some
because
were
I know
really
you've
mad
worked with
too.
so many
Yeah.
brands in the past. What was it like when the industry started to like realize you had signed on with someone,
Yep.
and they were like, trying to grab onto the coattails, but it was too late?
Well, for a lot, well, same thing with distributors. Like a lot of them asked, like, why Thor? Why did you pick them? Why didn't you come to us? Or some brands or sort of independent labs that why didn't we make your stuff? We had told you like one day we'd be glad to produce some products for your lineup, right? Well, that's when I was like, well, where was your plan? I'm not one to go out there and beg. I hate doing that. And my plan was like for the last 2-3 years, I was openly saying that if I ever reach 1 million subscribers one day, a crazy dream of mine would be to have my own line. And so Eddie and Jamie actually came forward with a complete business plan. So there's a big difference in hindsight when you see a brand that launched and now it's successful all of a sudden, and then you're like, oh, I should have been a part of that. And then you're coming forward and saying, well, why didn't you choose us? If I would have failed drastically, nobody would have batted an eye and nobody would have had interest. And so these guys were actually there with a full business plan. They knew I also had an intent to want to go global because my audience is worldwide. I have a lot of countries that are interested as well. And I didn't just want to distribute in North America. And so, and I'm a one-man operation. My channel, as much subscribers as there are there, I'm still a one-man show. I film my own videos. I edit my own videos. Like this is just me there. So I didn't have the knowledge or the time to be able to manage customer service, employ people, warehousing, distribution deals, all that kind of stuff. I don't know those things. And so the desire to want to have my own line also came with a desire to want to work directly with chemists, and not just one, but many different labs, because I'm a firm believer there can't just be one that does everything perfectly. There's some that have expertise in different kind of things. And so that's the kind of thing I like to dive into, have these discussions, do the R&D, the testing with the chemists. But for the rest, all the logistical portion, that's not something I was passionate about, or developing websites. I have no idea how all those things work. So when they came over, I think it was such a good plan. And they were super solid. I already knew who they were right through their YouTube channels. And I knew they were some very hard workers, which is something that I truly value, because that's one thing my dad taught me all my life is work, work, work. And when I saw these guys were on the grind and they had already their ideas of developing Detail Co. So I'm like, oh, they're further down the path than where I am. So let me learn from them as well. And so, yeah, but they're their own bosses.
Like the end of the day, it's a separate company, but you
Yeah.
get the comments. I think Dallas Paint Correction said we ship at the same warehouse. No, for real. I have to buy stuff to ship it. So we ship it from the same warehouse. What does that prove?
That
I don't
means
understand what that
zero.
proves.
What do you mean you have to buy it?
reverse.
Oh, you buy it
Yeah,
and then you're.
I don't. Pan doesn't give me his shit for free. I have to pay Pan for his
Yeah.
stuff. Like, this is not how it works.
And to resell it on his website, he needs, obviously, like any other brand, whether it's CarPro, whoever you distribute, you need to have a margin to be able to distribute those products.
Mhm.
And obviously, you have a warehousing facility. Thank God, because I don't have one. Does
I
anybody
don't
have a
have one
warehouse?
either.
No? So-
We use a 3PL company. Praise the Lord for the
exactly. And,
SNS
and
Auto.
many different brands can use the same warehouse. That doesn't mean crap. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry there, but yeah, come on.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's like here's what we're trying to prove here. Like, Pan's not my dad. He doesn't get to tell me what to do.
No.
I'm fortunate that he said yes to us, but it wasn't one conversation where he said yes and it was like, yeah, we'll do it. It was like a 5-month process of back and forth, calls, conference calls, lawyers got involved, documents signed. Like, there was not like,
Because you
Hey,
got
Pan-
Canada and the U.S. here, right? There's different rules. Like I don't even, my head's spinning trying to figure out how you set this up.
well, it had a, and I went to Pan the first time before I introduced him
Yeah.
to Jamie. And he looked at me real weird. He gave me that face like, and I said, Pan, look, I got this plan, dude. I've been working on it for a while. He goes, and he kind of brushed me off. You know how you would if somebody like who was brown and fat came to you and be like, yo, I got this idea, because you end up in jail with those ideas, right?
Oh, come on now.
And then I was like, yo, Pan, I got this other idea. And he's like, I need to hit 1 million first. And then I waited until it was like 998,000.
But what was the initial answer? Do you remember the first time you asked me to be on
Yeah.
board? What did I say?
I got to hit 1 million first.
No, but even before I said no.
Oh,
Yeah,
you did. You said no twice.
I have to reach my own goals as
Yeah.
well, and I had some things I wanted to do before that. I was in no rush to start the own lineup, and it's still a lot, right? When somebody says, "Hey, do you want to be on board with us on this?" Well, I got to do a lot of due diligence there. So you see, who am I getting on board with? Who is going to help me? What kind of actual services will you provide? There's a lot of things I don't know how to do, and so you can't take things for face value. And I wanted to develop a relationship as well over time and see, are these guys in it for the long run, or because I know there's a lot of businesses who would have liked to take advantage of me too, and that's not something I wanted. And for all of those who believe too that, oh, Jamie and Eddie are just taking advantage of Pan's name, and absolutely not. Like, if you guys knew how hard these guys work behind the scenes, and Nick, you know them too at this point, like they're just some super strong workers that had a dream to do something. And I could relate to that because I also had a dream to have my own product line in the future. And so dreams align. And I think at this point they were offering things that I needed, like distribution, customer service, warehousing, all that stuff. I don't know how to do that.
A lot of that was unknown because we already put it in place, right? Because we started buying all the product. It was unknown. And you saw the struggle. I'm gonna always be transparent. I'm gonna always keep it 100.
And we're still growing as brands. We're still not perfect.
Yeah, dude, and I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 as well. You're on the Nick at Night podcast, so I have the right to interrupt.
Of course.
I love you guys. I do want to hear more of the story. And there's so many comments coming in, but one of them that I thought I'd rather have them ask than me. Any regrets in how Thor Clean launched as far as timing or transparency?
Oh, dude, I got huge regret. I got one big regret.
It's from Tug R, by the way. Thank you, Tug.
Go ahead, Pan. You got any regrets? You can be honest. You can hurt my feelings.
Any regrets for how we launched? I don't have, I try not to have regrets in life because at one point you have to do things. Would I have waited until like we took care of packaging more, had better, but we don't know until we try, right? So as much as we had the good intentions, and for me, I was focusing so much more on the R&D than the shipping, the boxes, the packaging, all that kind of stuff. So for that year of research and testing the products, for me, it was like I was so obsessed with testing, and even got you and Jamie on board to test and make sure, like in different countries, different conditions, other people were involved as well,
I got frustrated
non-professionals.
with you on that
yeah. I'm super demanding.
He's like, a lot of people don't understand. It was, and this is to answer your question. I want to answer Tug's question. My only regret is not calling it a pilot. It's a pilot launch. Like, we didn't know how to handle 1,500 orders in 3 days. I didn't know how to handle that.
It surpassed our wildest
expectations. It didn't. Sure. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. Right.
Yep.
Like, a lot of people think that the way I speak, I come to them probably stupid, but I ran Fortune 200 IT companies, from the ground up, built it. So when I thought it should have all made sense, we had the right algorithm in place. We thought we had it all. It was not that part of transparency. I think we could have done a lot better. Like, hey guys, we're pilot launching this. We've never launched a brand before, and we came in big, right? We came in pretty hard, and I think
expectations were over the top. Yeah.
I call that my biggest regret. But then in hindsight, those pain points actually had us grow faster. We're only 3 months old. I think we hit 4 months. It's insane
when you see that. Yeah.
Yeah. We hit 4 months in 8 days.
Yeah, one thing I've been struggling a lot with is like, what role do I play as the questioner, as the interviewer, right? And I think in DIY, it's that I ask the questions that the audience has, and in that way, I provide a value because I'm kind of the voice for them. So I say this with respect, Pam, but we've had a couple comments in the chat here. Do you regret calling your stuff the best?
Oh, that's always a tough one. You guys know I'm not one. I hate drama. I never do drama on my channel. That's why I hate these drama channels. Or I saw where is it in the comments? I think it's Sal who mentioned that the groups on Facebook or sometimes some forums, there's too much toxicity there, and I fully agree with that. Things get blown out of proportion. What I regret is not being, I think, clear enough. Like, I'll be honest. I'll be the first to admit. Was it the best thing? Like, yeah, any brand is obviously going to be very proud of what they do. And I've heard this many times, right? We have the best. If they would say we have the 32nd best, I would be doubting. And like, you guys have poor marketing tactics. So I think it's the way I said it. It was so direct. And I'm always direct. Like, if you watch all my videos in the time I've been on YouTube, my titles always said that. Like, I'm always on the hunt for the best. So for me, I wanted to put a line that was the best for me, right? And so by saying it's the best, I kind of guess that my audience knows me enough that they're going to understand that what I mean or what I'm implying is that, yeah, this is the best for me. I'm so proud and I'm putting it out there. But obviously it wasn't clear enough. And some maybe took it the wrong way, or that's on me though. I should have been more crystal clear and say, these are the products that I make for me. These are the best for my use, my needs, what I've seen through the years that I wanted improved or done better, that kind of thing. Because obviously we're in a world today where there's so many
Pan,
good brands.
would you have?
But
Would you
maybe
have,
it was was it the most brilliant marketing strategy ever? Marketing
And
strategy
I
ever?
got
Because
so
everybody was talking about it.
In retrospect, like there's so many brand marketing directors that were calling me up, because over the years you make friends with so many companies, and I thank them for their support. But they were like, dude, this was so genius. Like, how did you think of this? I'm like, this was not on purpose. This was not intended to be that way. Believe me, like some of the backlash that I got, I would have done without it. Nobody like I'm one guy. Imagine people firing at you all together. You kind of feel ganged up on.
And that's
luckily
what
I
I'm saying.
had my
Like,
viewers
man,
who
you
supported
went
me
through
this.
you went
but
through. Oh yes, bro, you were
Too
in
much.
Japan. You were in Japan. Can I speak honestly here?
Yeah.
I won't say too much, right?
Yeah.
You dropped the best video. I call it the best video, but it was more like, you know what it reminded me of? I don't want to say because that's controversial. It's the best video. I called it the best video. You were in Japan, and I remember I kind of felt bad for you, right? Not felt bad in the sense like, oh man, he needs to step up, own it. It was more like, dang, the guy can't even be on vacation with his wife without getting text messages like, you're a piece of shit, you suck, you're the best, can't believe you would say that. And it's the same people, Pan. It was the same people that, if you look back in the past, that praised you for making that video before, right? So they could believe you then, but they can't believe you now, right? And they got you, you got all the heat. And then you got the ripple effect. You know, strawberries grow each other. Did you know that?
Yep.
When a strawberry plant starts, it grows another strawberry plant.
Yep.
So by nature, we got hit. We got hit.
I lost 135 subscribers. 135
in one day,
that day. Yep. Some people, of course, exaggerated and said, "Oh, he lost 20,000." I'm like, the numbers are public. Everybody has access to that. You can see the subscriber count at any time. But nonetheless, so I took responsibility, because in the sense of I should have been more clear. And I think, although my core audience will always understand where I was coming from, there's always going to be new people on, or people who take things for the face value of what you say. And I should have been more clear. And I think also what I understood from the viewers is that they would have liked the products to be available first for people to test, kind of like send them out and then let people decide. And if they are so good, we'll find out. I don't think they had a doubt that they would be good, because obviously they understood that I wouldn't sacrifice a channel of 1 million subscribers and putting out garbage products. So initially and there were some haters though. Some people don't like that etiquette, but you're a hater if you come in cussing, swearing, not having a mature discussion. So I will label haters when they are haters. Those who had a negative opinion but who could discuss, I have no problem with that. I mean, I'm all about freedom of speech, and we should be able to discuss, right? So, Pan, you made a mistake, you shouldn't have done that, and explain why. No problems with that. I'm human. I will continue to make mistakes as long as I learn from them. But there were some people who were just like way too harsh. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't sleep at night because a guy said his products are the best, there might be other issues underlying there. Like, I can't believe that we're not saving the world. These are just detailing products. However, I did that mistake of maybe being too blunt in the way I said it and not being clear enough. But I'm still the same guy. That doesn't change. If you've watched my latest videos, I still even talk about other brands, which not many brands do that, right? They launch their stuff, and I'd be hard pressed to find another company that talks about others. So I will still continue to do that, because I like to support brands that are doing good things for the detailing community, and I wish everybody would do that.
And I mean, personally, Pan, like I think at the end of the day, we got. I don't
want to dwell on this too much longer. Can I ask one more question, and then we can move on?
Of course.
Can you talk about why you removed the video? Because a lot of people say he removes the video, he's hiding something. What's up with this Pan guy? Again, 1 million subscribers. I see the
Pan. Keep it real, Pan. Keep it real.
Let's be honest. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. Like, you're playing in the big leagues, and you get a lot of flack for it. So I just want to. People have asked this question. I want them to know that I'm channeling their questions, and at least I get to ask it. About removing the video.
Yep. It's as simple as, why continue on something when you saw you made a mistake? Well, at this point, just stop the bleeding. Why continue on with something that you see is going to cause controversy, and that you realize that, well, now I understood that I have a different position as a brand owner. And although I was proud, right? So it was never intended to be in a negative way, in a sense of, I don't know how to put this in words. But I was so proud of the lineup. I wanted to include them to say like, this is my life's work that's bottled, and it came from passion, and it came from pride, and it came from being super proud of what I'm doing. But I never saw the other aspect of, well, it might be perceived as a bias if you're including your own products in an awards video. Now I see it. So there was never that ill intention, because if there was, I would have never done that. I'm not one to do drama on my channel. So if I
you've steered away from drama your whole career.
And believe me, I could have dove into it, because there's always some people who are trying to be so toxic and steal, right on your coattails, and try to grow their clicks and subscribers through creating drama on you. And I totally hate that and have zero respect for people who do that. But I kept to myself and I took the high road. And so there was never that ill intent. So I'm like, oh, now it hit me that, you know what, some people that had trust in you, Pan, and through all these years doing these reviews, and you've created this amazing following of people, some were disappointed. Some were more vocal than others, which is all right. I accept the blame. And it got to a point where, for the mental health, do I continue to push this down people's throats just because I felt my products were the best for me? Or do I stop this and have to rethink, first of all, is there still a place for an awards video on my channel now that I'm a brand owner? And if so, how am I going to rethink this for next year? Possibly involve my subscribers in a vote kind of thing. But I should have maybe, and this was the ultimate, like from the closest viewers that were to me, their recommendation was, it would have been fine if you would have mentioned your brand, but not in the awards, but on the side say, hey, listen, check out Clean by Pan. They can definitely compete with these top three.
Pan, can I say something? Can I say
decide,
something?
right?
Because I think I feel like I owe you an apology. You had called me and you're like, "Yo, Pan, this is Pan, guys. When you get to know him, he's at my house. We have these people flying.
Shout out to
driving
200
up.
people watching this podcast right now. Just
Oh.
can we do a giveaway to House of Rags, Eddie?
Nah, I
you
hate
just-
everybody.
Come on, you're on the.
Nah, F that. I'm
Okay,
giving
okay.
away
All right,
shit.
keep
No, yeah,
talking. Keep talking.
Giving away $100 gift card. $100 gift card. Two $50 gift cards. Two $50 gift cards. No,
Okay. Anyway, I interrupted your story. I'm sorry. We just had a lot of people watching.
No,
It's,
we could give away two $50 gift cards. So what I was Pan is super particular about how he wants his stuff to be. When the bottles got shipped to my house, because we had no labels yet, bro, you guys don't understand. Behind the scenes, Pan, behind the scenes, were we 100% ready to launch? We were hoping for deadlines to hit, trucks to hit the warehouse. We were hoping for stuff to
y'all
be
didn't
plugged.
have towels, and you're
Bro, we had no towels. We got the notice.
House of Rags.
No towels, dog. We had no towels, but we kept saying move forward, right? Because failure comes out of success, or success comes out of failure. And we just saying, hey, let's move forward. Let's keep moving forward. Pan got pissed off because the bottles were yellow. He said, I can't launch it. Or he almost stopped the whole launch. He's like, I can't launch this. The bottles are yellow.
I'm very particular. Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean you can't launch this? We're going live tomorrow. He's like, I cannot launch this. He gets on the phone. He starts talking French to whoever. He gets pissed. And then I'm like, hey, bro, we got to make sure the bottles are tight. So we had to call the chemist. Yo, how's the bottles? Are they white? They take a picture of the bottle. I'm not joking, dude. This is no cap. Takes the picture of the bottles. Pan's like, okay, we could go. Like, literally, that's how anal he was about launching his own brand, because he wanted it to be right. He wanted it to be right. And I kept puffing his head, yeah, just put in your awards video, because, you know, if you love it, you love it. Isn't it your...
And that's how, you know, I never put people under the bus, because even though I had asked a lot of people around me, like, should I do this? Do you think it, guys? Everybody was saying, yeah, it's a great idea, fantastic. And like, so, because there was never that ill intent, and we never thought of what could possibly be negative repercussions of it. So I never came at it with an intent of let's create so much drama on the internet. And so, live and learn. I'm human. That was
this Pan's not running the show.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like that to me at all. That's why I wanted to kind of, I don't feel like that's the direction this conversation
he was
is going.
Literally,
He's a very strong influence because he's a particular guy and he succeeded for a reason. That's my read on all this.
Yeah, we're going to launch the House of Rags without him, but we're like, let's launch it with him. That was the whole point of me saying what I was saying. He literally is going to stop his whole brand launch, period. That is going to stop.
Yeah, that would not have stopped Thor. I was just looking out for my brand if things weren't up to my standards, because now I'm still trying to figure out all this stuff, because I'm learning through you guys as well. Like, I'm not the guy doing the customer service. I'm not the guy packing the boxes. I'm not. So I just had these high expectations of when I receive a package, what do I look for? When I purchased stuff in the past, like, how was that? How was I receiving it? How was the customer service? How was this and that? And so I'm just a perfectionist. And I want to make sure everything is fine. So when those last days were coming out before launch and I was stressing out, not sleeping, like this is way for anybody who thinks launching a brand is easy.
It sucked, bro.
One of the hardest things I've ever done. And making YouTube is tough, but this creating a brand is on a completely different level. So shout out to anybody who starts their brand. The grind is real. The competition is crazy.
It's sleepless nights. Give away money, Nick, before you start asking questions.
I want to ask a question to Pan because maybe they're seeing this side of you, Pan. They're like, you know what? I'm going to give them a shot. What are you most proud of in your line? Where should they start?
As far as products are concerned?
Yeah, like what? Like for me, I'm like try our rinseless wash, ceramic gloss. Like I've got a few gold standard polish. Like I've got a few on the DIY side. Like really, I want to win you over. Like these are the big bangers that I think are amazing in my line. Obviously, I love them all. They're like our kids, right? But what are you proud of in your line, Pan?
My crown jewels that I say are my ceramic coatings. I'm a big coating guy, and those are just like for the price. They're just I love them. I love them to death. I can't say they're the best, period. But they're very, I think I let independent reviews talk, and I think it's quite obvious at this point. They're no joke, and I really like them. And if somebody wants a chemical more on the non-coating side, the biggest seller is the ceramic spray sealant. So that one's been flying off the shelves. But they're all doing super well, but maybe the soap as well. I think once people try the shampoo, it's a good introduction to the brand.
Banger, dude.
But I always tell them, if you try one thing, you're eventually going to just want them all and try them all. That's usually what happens. We see the repeat customers and they're like, they buy one or two and then they just want the whole lineup. So try one or two, see if the brand suits you. Like everybody has different needs, and I always said, my brand is not made to compete with entry level stuff. It is not a budget oriented brand. Although it has value in the premium segment, it's still a premium brand. So I wanted the best ingredients, the best quality stuff in there, or as much as possible, work with the chemist to make something that is still affordable in the sense of, because what product was it that we worked in at? Oh, I think it was a tire dressing. At one point, it would have been like $100 for a gallon. It made no sense, right? So you had to dial back a few things. But just try one that you like. Whatever what I recommend to people do is, let's say you're a big proponent of, you love rinseless washes, right? Well, try the rinseless wash first. If you're somebody that really likes ceramic spray sealants, try the ceramic spray sealant first. See where it fits and what you like. And if you like what you see, try more. And I think you're going to get hooked.
I just love this because T-Moss is kind of circling back around. If you make your own product and you do not think it's the best, then you would not want to launch it. It's human behavior to want and think you made the best product.
I agree, T-Moss.
Did you handle it perfectly, Pan? I think you've already addressed
None of us did, bro. We literally...
Sometimes I feel some people expect that I maybe a superhuman or expect too much from me. At the end of the day, I'm just a human being there. I started my channel. I'm a normal guy. So I've been successful in my life prior to starting this. So the YouTube channel, all that, it's fun, but I never needed that to live. So I think there's always some people as well who dive into jealousy, right? They get jealous, they see all this. But if you look at my first videos, I already had the custom home theater, the great house, the no mortgage, the cars, this comes from a full lifetime. I'm 43 now. I didn't have this when I was 20. I come from a very humble family, like average middle class. Nothing was given to me. I just had to work hard for everything. Yeah, my dad's immigrant for Greece. I'll eventually have I already have a life story video, but I'll have another one, like the ethos or the start of the brand. But I'm just an average guy, and I wanted to share my passion and this 27 years at this point of just loving detailing and sharing that experience. And it's all thanks to my viewers that I got to this point. But at the end of the day, I'm still just human. Did I make mistakes in the past? Yep. Am I going to still make mistakes in the future? I'm not. I'm far from perfect. I just want to make things as perfect as possible, if that makes any sense. So I'm always in pursuit of the next best thing. I'm always in pursuit of making things perfect. I am OCD, not diagnosed, but OCD.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
wanting to make things as good as possible.
Perfect sample, right? Pan. You can have a perfect sample. And it goes to the masses, and it could be a big ass flop. Let's talk about Nemesis. On my kids, my biggest fear in life is, first of all, like dying in an airplane. So if it happens when I go to MTE, take care of my wife. Here, you hear her first, right? The second thing is launching a product that you were so proud of and it ends up foaming more than Dawn dish soap. Bro, that's a flop. Like that was like, you don't
and
understand how
as much as
pissed
you
I
do
was.
R&D, it's until you launch it in the wild, and sometimes people follow directions, they don't, they follow instructions, they don't, or they do stuff that you were never expecting as much as you tried. And so there's a lot of it that's very humbling, and that's how you can improve on future formulas. That's one thing I had to learn. So there's sometimes things that work super well for you, but then you get a viewer comment, even if 1,000 people liked it, maybe one had an issue. Oh, like your ceramic spray sealant, it gave me streaking. So then you're trying to troubleshoot, and thank God for your customer service. That's awesome as well, because I can't do everything on my own. I get thousands of comments a day, but and you try to troubleshoot and help people, and you grow along the way. So one thing I think is cool is when people stay positive and they want to help the brand to grow as well, because they support you and they like what you do, they'll come out with like constructive criticism. That is the way to do. Instead of cussing, swearing, and not being able to have mature discussions, sit down with the people, or when you talk to customer service, take some time to explain your situation, and there will always be a resolution. I know Thor takes this to heart, and like one of your customer service reps is actually your wife, Eddie, and she's such a great human
Bro, we
being.
argue all the time.
We need
Pan.
patience. Yes.
She'll be downstairs and she'll come up. She'll start yelling. I'm like, what are you yelling about? I'm like, get out my face. Like, we argue all the time because I expect one thing to be done one way. She does it her way. Like, the struggle of starting a business is tough.
Yeah, I think sometimes, like, and I tell my viewers too, when they say, "Oh, Pan, you shouldn't have associated yourself with Thor. Like, they're shipping, they're this or that." I'm like, at the end of the day, guys, this is just a 3-month-old business. Can you imagine? And they're already doing great things. If we go back to your favorite brands when they first started, their packaging was awful. Their customer service sometimes did not exist. The quality of the products wasn't even there. Imagine that. Detail Co already is coming out with amazing products out the gate. This is V1 that is out there. Same thing for Clean. So imagine how we're going to improve in the future. So we need people to understand that as well. And we're working super hard because we know it's people's hard-earned money at the end of the day, and they want to invest in a brand they can trust and in products that are very high quality. And I think both me at Clean, and I'm sure Eddie and Jamie think the same for their Detail Co over at Thor, is you want to make sure you can produce the best for you. And at the end of the day, hopefully your audience identifies with that as well, and they can recognize all that effort. Same with you guys over at DIY, right? You've created a cult following over the years, and I applaud you for that. And people love your stuff. Are there better products than Clean out there? Are there better products than DIY? Are there better products than Detail Co? Sure, for everyone that has different levels of budget, different levels of experience, different needs, different expectations. So we're in a period now where there's so much competition. Competition drives quality, and you can mix and match if you want. You can have one shampoo from one brand. You can have a ceramic coating from another brand. You can have a tire dressing from your favorite brand. You don't have to stick to just one. And one thing's for sure, though, if you stick to reputable brands today, you're going to get a crazy good experience. At the end of the day, we should have fun detailing.
Absolutely.
Hey, let's do giveaways. Before
I
you
don't
ask
even
me
know
this
how to do a
question.
giveaway, Eddie. What, you got Pan on the channel? You come up with something. I feel like I'm in.
All right. No, and then you can ask your next question. So,
Hey, real quick though, Tracy says I'll work customer service with your wife Eddie, and I'll get her to call you Big Daddy Yum Yum.
during
is
the
that an
workday,
inside joke?
Bev's not calling nobody Big Daddy nothing.
All right, lead the charge here. You're giving the money away, Eddie.
We'll do a $50 gift card to Thor. The question is, I don't have a question. I'm still hyped. Like, I want to fight somebody. Look, I'm a fighter, bro.
We'll
Like,
come
all
up with a
right,
question. We'll come up with a question.
I got a question. No, I don't have a question. Keep going.
I see the chats going. Like
I want
crazy.
to know something. What was it like for you, Pan, when Eddie first approached you? Were you like, why would I join you? Like,
Be honest, Pan,
because
'cause
House
you
of
were
Rags
acting
wasn't
fishy.
a thing yet. Eddie's got like
Yep.
8,000 subscribers. I don't know what you got on YouTube. But
At
like,
4,300
he ain't a million.
subscribers.
He ain't a million. He's coming at you like, hey, you want to carry your product exclusively on our website or whatever the partnership is.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like when he first approached you?
I was first impressed by the courage. I think it takes a lot of courage because you'd see like there's other brands that have approached me in the past, right? For this kind of thing. So, hey, Pan, if you ever think of, we can provide all that for you. But I knew I didn't want white labeling. I wanted to work with chemists to come up with something of my own and not just rebadge, relabel, change the color, change the scent, and call it a day. So there's some I flushed out immediately, and others who were willing to say, we can work with you on formulas and do things from the ground up for you. But I saw the courage, and I'm like, there's something there, and he was pursuing. So it wasn't like the first time I said no. He could have just dropped everything there, continue on his dream, because he knew he was already on the path of creating Detail Co and Thor and all that kind of stuff at one point.
But you didn't
They
know
didn't-
that.
They didn't need me.
You didn't know that though. You
No,
had no idea.
exactly. But you knew, so you could have said, you know what,
Yeah, I knew.
screw this guy. He doesn't want to be a part of it. And then one day when he'll see that we're doing super well and we're global, then he'll regret it. And I would have fully understood that. So in the pursuit, we got to become friends. And there's one thing that really got me is when I saw the human side of Eddie, and that's when I can tell whoever just judges Eddie on face value from what they see in some videos. Oh, he's a funny guy. He's this, whatever. Deep down, he has such a big heart. He's first of all, family-oriented man. This man will protect his family with his heart and soul. And so there's similar values to me because my family is so important to me. And just by talking, one day he reached out and he's like, dude, like there was some things going on back then with some drama surrounding the channel, as always some try to bring up.
There's always something.
And it's crazy. And the bigger the channel gets, the wilder these people just try to cling on to your quote unquote fame. I don't think I'm famous, but I mean, in the YouTube space, I've reached a certain level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so some just try to take advantage of that to gain clicks and subscribers. But what those people don't realize is I've never seen a successful channel do that to others. Look at the biggest channels that are over 1 million subscribers. Whether it's Larry, whether it's me, whether it's the Detail Geek, all those guys, they never talk about others. They never try to bring people down. They never put brands down. They do their thing, and that's what they should stay focused on. And that has been proven to work. Do your thing, do it well, connect with your audience. So Eddie had reached out and he's like, it was one of the first times somebody actually asked me, Pan, how are you doing? Like I've seen all this stuff and I know, like, you try to, things don't necessarily get to you. You move on, you don't address them. You don't do drama. You don't do these like fight back videos, and you could have done so many, but really, like, from one man to another, how are you doing? I found that so humbling to see that somebody actually cared. Because you're like, oh, if I look at my friend Matt from Obsessed Garage, right? Oh, he's so successful and like he has millions and millions of dollars, and who cares? Like, if people call him out, and some people like are super negative towards him, and no, at the end of the day, we're all human. And for somebody to reach out like that and just to ask me how I was doing, and we had this hour-long conversation, and I felt like, okay, there's something there. It's beyond just business. This is something that we have, like, such common traits and qualities that this is somebody I could see becoming my friend. I also had met Jamie in person in Chicago, so although I knew his channel, I met him too, to person, face to face, and that's where I'm like, okay, these guys, they're grinders, they're hard workers. I don't see any gimmicks that they're trying to do. They've been supporting me since a very long time, and they have this human side of things. Maybe there's something there. So that was, like, I think the initial click when I saw the human side, because for me, it can't always be about business. Business is nice, it's fun, but I already had the YouTube channel. I didn't need to start clean. I could have just continued making my videos and everything would have been fine, right? So to do this, you need more than just the business aspect, and I think that human side really made me connect. I like Jamie and Eddie. They're such good humans. Same thing when I had first met Ivan, your partner, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Back in the day, I think our first video we made together was in 2017. So like a year after I started my channel. So I met him here in the province of Quebec, where I live, in Montreal, and I was at his shop, and we connected right away. And it was just beyond that creating videos. I saw a man that had passion for detailing. So it's always, for me, it's the connections about similar things, right? The icebreakers, I call them. So the icebreaker in this case is detailing oftentimes, but then Eddie brought that human aspect that is just, Eddie, you're a wonderful human being.
Appreciate you.
I agree that Eddie's a wonderful human being, but I've also heard people say that they think Eddie is a bully. Eddie, how do you respond to that? Because I love you, Eddie.
I can see
you
it.
treat me like family, and I know what that feels like. You are loyal.
You ever had a dog?
But I've heard that said, so I just want to know.
Yeah,
I'm
I get
it.
To
channel the people. They're like, has Eddie changed? Right? Has he become?
I just don't give. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not that I'm a bully. It's that I don't tolerate stupidity, and I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, half the stuff people say to you, they will never tell you to your face. You know what I'm saying? And like, my name is so important to me because I did so much to build my name that when someone tries to smear, I get real pissed off. So my bully, like, you ever had a dog that you put in the corner? What happens to the dog? What does he do first? It's the sweetest dog in the world, dog. And you put him right in the corner, they bite. Right? I was reading this book, The Art of War. It's like, let them see your weakness for your weakness, plus your main strength. So in my mind, it's like, for me, people think that my kindness is a weakness, and I don't just tolerate stupid people. I think it's stupid, right? I think for you to come to somebody and spend so much time online talking, like there's always two sides to a story. I mean, I don't know how to answer this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a bully,
Okay,
right?
let me say something, Nick. You've like even on your channel, DIY Detail, you guys know there's always going to be trolls, right? This is the toxicity of the internet. Now, what I think some people forget is that if you're one person hiding behind a fake username, 123XYZ, no profile pic, you feel like you're a tough guy, trolling and saying whatever you want, why don't you try identifying yourself? Give us your name. Let us see your picture, just like you see us, right? But they don't do that. They hide behind that stuff. And what they don't realize is one person can come in and say, Eddie, today, this and that. But Eddie might have received 20 comments like that. So at one point, you're human too. And it gets tough to where do we sign up as content creators that it's written that you guys will have to be able to survive through being blasted and belittled and called cussed out, and words that no, that is not the way things work. I never signed up for that. Like if you want me to treat you with respect, I'm like a mirror to the person's behavior. So I'll be very respectful until you start treating me like garbage. If you do that, well, at one point you might get it back. And then you're all of a sudden you're offended that the content creator replied to you. Like, how can you be offended? You can't just coming in guns blazing. You're not able to have a mature discussion.
But
you try, but sometimes some people don't
like,
understand, right?
Yeah.
It's not, to answer your question, is that maybe I do come off of as a bully, right? If you don't know me,
yeah,
like Nick, I'll talk to you in person and I could be very abrasive, right? That's how I was raised. I'm from the East Coast. We were raised to just be upfront. My dad, if you meet my dad, he looks me in my face. He's like, dude, you are the worst guitar player ever. That's how I was raised. Like, he's like, you suck.
Just blunt.
He's like, yeah, blunt. Like, and I tell my daughters that maybe it's bad, right? Maybe I need to change. And and that's something that you got to grow into. Like Isabel will start something. I'm like, dude, you are so bad. Try something else. I said, you'll find your thing. Try something else. Well, how come you're not encouraging? I go, why would she waste her time if she could be great at something else, right? I've always been that way. So when someone tells me you suck, I'm like, okay, so I can either fix it or I can cry about it. I usually try to fix it or become the best at it. So maybe I do come off bullyish. That's not my intent, right? I'm just upfront. There's no, life is too short to shake your words up. Does that make sense? Like,
no, I agree. For those who say they're frustrated with your shipping costs at House of Rags, what is your kind of public response to the folks?
Spend $125 and stop crying. What do you want me to say? I don't own shipping, bro. I'm not UPS. Like,
I feel
you know what I'm saying? Like
shipping
I'm not,
costs are real,
bro. I don't sit here and be like, yo, Tom at UPS, can I get 15% off? Can I get a Hooker Brother Up discount? I don't get that opportunity, right? Even when you ship a whole bunch of boxes out and you go in and ship it, you are giving what you're giving. I don't control that for you. Well, your shipping cost is too high. Bro, spend $125. It's free.
Well, one thing made me realize that, because I didn't know that too, right? You're always expecting like the Amazon level service of free shipping, which is never really free. Because if you notice, sometimes the price on Amazon for some products are a little more expensive than the actual brand's website. It's because they have to cover all that shipping costs, and Amazon eats through your profits a lot. And so I discovered and learned a lot through all this adventure of like the behind the scenes and how things work. And this whole world that Amazon created, that we expect everything tomorrow, and we expect everything for like free shipping, and it's just for small brands that are starting. We don't have the same level of account as Amazon does with UPS or FedEx. So obviously that's going to change a lot of things. So the logistical part is, again, if you want to support brands that are starting out and they're in a pursuit to want to give you actually quality products, it comes with, you might get your products 2-3 days later, and it might cost more in shipping, but that's going to continue to improve. And believe me, Eddie and Jamie are not ones to want to take profit from shipping. They're always constantly working to bring things down, but there are costs of doing business.
I think shipping is like health insurance. Like, I'm not one of those wake up in the morning and I'm like, the government's trying to take my kids and then take my welfare money. It's more like, dang, bro, we're getting raped in shipping, right? And I don't know how to control it. So spend $125, be happy. Let's move on. I feel like I
wanted to ask about, because this was about the origin story, how it really started. So did this almost launch without Pan? Like, give me the calendar timeline again. Because if people have spent this long listening, first of all, I want to say House of Rags Media, available on Spotify and Apple. So you can listen to all these podcasts, whether it's Chelsea or Christy or myself or Ivan or any of the great podcasters. You got, who else is on the channel? We got the I'm trying to think of the name.
Homies.
The Funkin' Homies. I knew it was Chris.
We got Brian Spittler and then Aaron doing no detail. Theirs is pretty dope because there's like
Christy.
Chelsea, Christy. We got the gals. I call them the gals because without them, we won't be whole.
On Spotify and Apple.
We got Straight Teeth Sock. He paid a lot of money for those veneers, dog.
Okay.
Sock paid a lot of money for those
Dang.
veneers.
I
And
don't
he
think they're
smiles more now, bro. He smiles more now. Sock is off the hook.
All right, so let's talk about the timeline though. Pan may have, Pan, you can stick around, you can whatever, but Pan may,
Oh,
may
this is
never
fun.
have happened.
This is fun.
Yeah, Pan may never have happened. So give me the timeline of like you were gonna launch this with or without Pan.
Yeah,
Detail
so
Co? Or,
just
Well, Thor is Detail Co is a part of Thor.
Detail Co is Auto Geek had Wolfgang, had McKees. The McKees did their own thing. This is just like one of those, right? And
You're trying to be bigger than Auto Geek.
I'm just trying to live. I'm trying to get to the next month. Why are you setting me up, dude? I'm just trying to get to the
big
next
dreamer, dog. You're a big
I
dreamer.
dream big, but dreams, it's like this. If you don't move your feet, we don't eat, and then we're neck to neck. I'm just trying to keep moving.
And you have to dream big to attain. If you only dream small, like think small, you're never going to achieve success. You always have to think big.
Yeah. So, what was it say? So we were to the point. Literally, we're filming. Jamie. First time I met Jamie was he flew to my house. We're sitting there filming. We get a call. Yo, your shipment's not going to hit of towels for 2 months. It got delayed 2 months.
This summer? When was it?
This was 3 months. September, before September, August.
Okay, so late summer 2024.
Yeah, yeah. So we're sitting there. Everything is ready. Like everything is ready. Meaning we got I built the website. I got the website ready. We got the label sent. We got the products being made. Pan was supposed to fly into Pocatello. He's never been to the right. Pan's supposed to fly into Pocatello. Jamie's here. We're sitting there and we're saying, bro, we have no towels. And we're called the House of Rags. What a bunch of fakes. We have no towels, bro. What a bunch of fakes. And then we're like, okay, Pan sees his yellow bottles, starts flipping out in the middle of the kitchen. I had to walk away because he was pissing me off. Pan be coming to my face.
We didn't even have labels. Remember, we had to hand label them. Yep.
I walked away. Pan's like, what do you mean? What, guys, what do you mean I got to hand label my own stuff? I don't hand label my own stuff. I'm Pan the organizer.
This is how Eddie imitates me.
You're going to get your ass to Kinko's and we're going to hand do it. And I'm watching Pan cut his own thing. I'm like, bro.
The grind is real.
And he's like, guys, this cannot be. And he's freaking out in the kitchen. Jamie and I are like, yo, we don't have no towels. We're going to do. Literally the next day, we call people and tell them, yo, we're about to launch store. We get a call from Auto Fiber, or it was, I forgot his name, but Auto Fiber. And then I talked to Ian, and Ian's like, we'll front you towels. I made a PO with Ian just so we can have Auto Fiber towels for the website. And then Pan's like, I can't go. Guys.
Hey, in the comments, they're saying that your imitation is amazing. Guys, you got to stop supporting that.
Guys actually sounds pretty similar.
Yeah. He's like, guys, I can't go live like this. This is not, I did not want my brand to be like this. It has to be perfect. He kept saying perfect. I looked at him and I said, dude, the only person in this life that was perfect is Jesus. So we're either going to launch with you or without you. Pan's like, I will not. He gets on the phone, dude. It's literally walking around, pacing the house. Me and Jamie are looking at each other like, this dude's off the hook. He didn't sleep. He's not eating right. He came in with a vengeance. The next morning, he wakes up. He's like, I'm ready. I was like, all right, ready. Pan was not about to let it go live, and we didn't have towels. Do you know what we're going to launch with? Car Pro, Detail Co. Thank God the ADS. And I don't think we even paid the PO. I think we paid the PO. ADS was on 3 brands, 3 Auto Fiber.
And look where you're at today. It's insane.
How much money did it take to start this? I think you dropped something at the beginning, but I want folks to hear the number, and then maybe you can explain more about your investor, as much as you're willing to say, because I know there's a lot of questions out there. I'm
gonna say, you know what, Eddie, he doesn't even have to share that. There's some things sometimes I think we go too far. Like I would never ask people like how much money, for me it's very private. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people.
No, that is like how much money do you make?
Never ask people how much they make.
I would tell you the investor, like I don't have millions of dollars, right? But it costs millions to get it going. That's all I could say, right? It's like what? A lot of money. It was a crazy amount of money. Because we had to buy our own formulas. That costs money. We had to buy the bottles. And if you don't know, buying bottles that are...
This sounds cheap.
No. Oh, the only thing cheap about it was the hose on Fremont. And then we had the bottles, the finding the right bottle that was like amber and having that 50s Americana vibe going. Those bottles, actually, we bought the rest of the custom-made bottles. So if you get a shipment from Thor and the bottles are see-through, I'm sorry, we ran out of old school bottles. We had to order 50,000 more. Getting the labels, getting the triggers. We brought the wrong triggers. And literally, Pan was going to launch this is how this happened. This is a cool story. Pan was going to launch with all white, looking like 1950 Exorcist hospital building. He wanted white bottles, white triggers. The triggers were yellow. Pan got super pissed. And I'm like, yo, those triggers look dope on our bottles.
Yeah, give that retro vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I was like, oh, we'll switch triggers. Like I had black triggers. We're like, you just keep yours, dude. And I'll keep the white ones.
I mean, having worked with Ivan too, like strong personalities that have a lot of ideas and opinions of how things, like that's just part of like the creative process. You don't always have to, it's not always smooth sailing. There's creative friction, and as long as you guys can manage it, and I think that's an important thing. Speaking of managing, Eddie, I think what people don't see behind the scenes, and because you and I have chatted a lot about business, is what you bring as far as a business perspective. I see you as the guy who knows how to review things online. You're obviously, Eddie, House of Rags, but there's more to this running a business, isn't there?
Yeah, so I had to quit my job at shout out to people in California who lost their house. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. That sucks, man. I was working for a company in California, and we did health insurance, and I ran the IT part of it, the applications and all that. So starting a company is just more than just buying product and making sure that you have everything in line, right? So it's how do you pay your employees? How do you clock in? How do you structure your wholesale deals to make sure that you could keep those in track? So if I go out sick or Jamie goes out
Pan's
sick.
not doing all this for you, Eddie?
Who?
Pan's not, Daddy's not doing all this for you?
The only time Pan calls me is to say, yo, G.
Give you a hard time, Pan.
Yo, G, where's this? I'm like, leave me alone, Pan. And I'll ghost him for like a week. And he's like, you don't talk to me anymore? That's messed up, bro. Like we play each other like that. That's the only time he texts me.
I love that banter.
Yeah, it's back and forth. But so I spent the last month since I quit my job, I spent the last month putting things in place so we could track. We have Slack now. We have Monday for our CRM. We track everything. We track calls, make sure customers are taken care of. We discuss the wholesale stuff, like how can we make it better, the business stuff, Thor Media. We discussed all that. So I put in motion because I built the websites and things of that nature, and I've done this before. We put things in place to allow it to go from feeling like we're just on the computer talking crap to more structured. So I know if there's like 20 calls that come in, those 20 calls are online. I could check it. Who's working this? Who's working that? I want customer service to be fluid. My wife is not running it. We hired another customer service person named Ivan Flores. He's our guy now, helping Bev do customer service. All the wholesale deals and leads I got coming in to brick and mortar Thor. I set all that up so we could, me and Wiley, set all that up so we could actually be a business and have things in place. Health insurance, right? It's a big deal. That took a lot of time.
You don't have to have everything figured out when you start, but you better figure it out along the way, right?
Yeah.
How would you describe that to someone who, whether they're starting a detailing business or a product line, Pan, from where you sit, what do you think you've learned so far?
You need a lot more support and help than you might think so. Especially if you're going the way of contract blending instead of white labeling. There's so many pieces to put in motion that I never even thought were possible. And there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of feedback that you're going to get as well. So you have to be open to it, as long as it's constructive criticism, obviously. But the people who support you, at the end of the day, they will stand behind you as long as they see you're doing the right thing. And you also have to learn sometimes as a brand owner to maybe tone things down a bit. I'll give an example. Eddie's going to laugh, but so there's one time I call Eddie. I'm like, listen, Eddie, I got this email today about one of my subscribers and he was not happy. Look at how the box came to his house. So for me, I associate this is the warehouse packaging, right? He's like, Pan, we would never send a box in that condition from the warehouse. This is the third party supplier.
It was repacked and everything was in plastic bottles. Like everything was in a plastic bag. I'm like, it was repacked, bro.
And it got damaged, right? But me thinking that, I am never one to say, I don't like excuses. So I still told Eddie, I don't care if it's UPS. I don't care if it's FedEx. I don't care who it is. Is there any way we can improve? And he's like, yeah, but we're already under the industry average. It's very good. Like we have very little returns and issues compared to the industry average. And we're only 3 months old. I'm like, okay, I understand it, but I don't care. Why aren't we striving for perfection?
What did I tell you?
Let me finish the story, right? I'm like, so
piss me off.
I know. And I'm like, Eddie, I want this to be perfect. I don't care if it's just 1 in a day. I want it to be 0 in a day. And so this is where they got into meetings, they went to the warehouse, they spoke with like different ways of double corrugated boxes and better packaging, giving better training to the staff that need to get used to this section of the warehouse of shipping all this stuff out. But for me, I want all the improvements done today, right? So I had to learn to manage my expectations and realize there's humans behind this that need to figure things out as well. And if I want people to be patient with my brand, I need to be patient towards partners as well, and third-party logistics and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. What did you want to say, Eddie?
I think.
Oh boy.
Fan.
I appreciate y'all being so open.
You
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
chill.
this is
You
like-
gotta chill.
Dr.
You gotta
Phil.
chill out sometimes, man. Because
I
Pan
know.
becoming. This is the first thing Pan does, right? Like, cool. You got a problem and people complaining to you. Great. I appreciate it. Thank you for the feedback. He doesn't say good morning. How's your wife doing? Eddie, how was your last day? The first thing this dude does is get on a text. Yo, what the hell is this? I go, okay, Pan.
Because my
I said,
viewers
first
are
of all,
priority.
I don't care
know.
about your
But
viewers.
did I improve? I always say hi, right?
Yeah, bro. You,
gotta
didn't even say
give me-
hi, dude. Just
I'm
say
improving.
hi.
Hey, Pan,
Yes, you're right.
that's happened with Eddie before too, where I'll just be like, send him a screen grab.
Nah,
He'll be
don't
like-
do
he'll-
that.
He'll be like,
I'm so used to that. I'm
he'll
very
be like,
direct.
dude, say hello first. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Nah,
You
I'm
learn-
like,
no,
dude,
he's
I'm
right.
like-
He's right.
I'm like, if you want something, right? I get it. You're your customer. You're if you in the scale of things, right?
Yeah.
I probably 50% of people in chat had bad packaging. We own that. I'm never going to blame the warehouse for that, because at the end of that, we're Thor.
Yeah.
So that's on us. We own that,
I like that.
right? We own that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, the warehouse did not pack that good, or they didn't do a H shake. No, we own it.
Yeah. You're
And
never
we
one
saw
for
it,
excuses too. I love
And
that.
we went in and we took care of it, and we're fixing it. We own it. But at the end of the day, if we box it up and we put better tape, we get better double corrugated boxes, and UPS still throws that shit off the truck and kicks it down the street and starts shaking it, I can't control from the point it leaves the warehouse to the point it gets to you. Like, I can't control that.
Hey, and to the shine said FedEx could destroy a steel box. I love that. That's so funny.
It's so true. Let's do a quick timeout for a $50 gift card to House of Rags, shall we? Pan, the question that we're gonna give the viewers here, and you're gonna be the arbiter of the truth here. You're gonna tell us who wins.
Okay.
What is the number one most viewed video on Pan's website or on YouTube? Go. So if you know the number one most viewed
Don't
YouTube
say nothing, Pan.
video
No.
on Pan's channel, put it in the comments below, and the first person to get it right gets $50 to House of Rags. I have an idea of what it is, but I didn't do this research, Pan. How many views does it have roughly? Can we give them a...
They're yes, they can have an idea. It's in the millions.
Okay. We've got a lot of... Okay.
Over
Mackenzie
5
says...
million.
Mackenzie says how to ceramic coat with a Q-tip.
With a Q-tip?
Cerakote. How to detail your car. Well, I'm just looking at these. Washing rags, ceramic
Hey,
coating tutorial.
type it in the private chat, Pan.
Okay. We're gonna get to
Or text me.
the comment
I'll
thread.
text you.
The comment thread will be the proof, right? The first person to respond was at 7:32. I think it's
Hey, I'm not
Mackenzie.
picking anybody. You're picking it, because every time I pick somebody, my wife gets hit pieces. I ain't doing it. You pick.
Well,
Pick whoever
you,
wins.
You got to text me. You got to text me at some point what the winner is if I'm choosing. So someone's got to know what the answer is, and then
Well, there's a lot of answers that came in, and there's already people who are right, but I don't know who's the first in the way you see it on your.
Okay, I've got Mackenzie at 7:32 coming. Maybe we figure this out after the. I
I
don't.
can tell you right away what's the first person you see. What's their answer?
How to ceramic coat.
Absolutely.
Who was that? Who
Bingo.
was that?
Over 5 million views.
Okay, that was
that
Mackenzie. Mackenzie. There we go.
Yep.
All right, Mackenzie.
Congratulations.
Email someone else at thehouseofrags.com.
Email Jamie at thehouseofrags.com.
Hey, that's good, Mackenzie. That takes a lot of like memory to remember. all
Dang,
this.
Mackenzie has this like algorithm. She wrote a code. It's
Wow.
so like, dude, Mackenzie's on a different planet.
I'm impressed.
Okay,
I don't
so,
watch her videos that far behind to care.
Only email Jamie at houseofrags.com if you just won, Mackenzie. I just put it in the House of Rags.
Oh, Chris M, I like that one. How to clean purple underwear found on Fremont by Pan the Organizer. If you know, you know.
Bro,
right?
I cannot.
Eddie's
to
underwear.
this day, I looked at all my bags. Those purple underwear, dude, and they look like a beach towel. You know that lady used it to cuddle up.
I was
Smell.
waiting for the hotel to call you, sir. We finally found
Bro,
them. Who
my
knows where
underwear
they
are missing. It's upsetting.
Oh God.
I can't believe it.
What else is out there, Pan or Eddie? I mean, about your origin story. Like, you've heard all the anything. I just want to give you the floor. Like, maybe people have found this podcast, they want to support. Please subscribe to House of Rags YouTube channel, by the way, if you haven't already. Like the video. But we're 220 strong after an hour, which is remarkable. Is there anything else you want to
Thank
just
you,
set the
guys.
record straight here about?
I think
the
I'm gonna do
origin
this. I'm
story?
gonna say this so we're on the same page. I would never respond to anything other. This is it. I'm never making a video about this again. So everyone knows, right? Jamie and I roles are pretty specific because I get asked all the time, what does Jamie do?
By the way, where is Jamie tonight? Doesn't he have like a medical procedure?
He's got
or
like
something?
a toothache. He's got.
It's not that he's not part of this conversation.
Bro, he's like his mouth hurts.
And it's also not because we're not saying anything that we don't see or hear. And there are some that are sometimes on the limit of crossing that fine line.
Yeah,
and they will get the response they need when it's time. Don't ever take kindness for weakness. Like I can say that some are really writing very that thin line there, and Eddie said it well. They're trying to write on coattails of other people's success, and that I find absolutely disgusting. If you pride yourself in gaining views from making videos, putting other people down, and even perhaps falsifying results or just creating drama with things that aren't factually correct, look at your other videos, and if your views are low compared to those drama videos, that should say a lot. Your audience does not care about your normal content. What does that say?
Dang, Pan, why are you coming in so angry? He just
because they think we're stupid and we don't see it. We've been in the game long enough, and I don't play that game, but I don't ever. I ain't stupid. I see it, I hear it, and I got viewers who will have my back any time of the day. I'm so grateful for that audience. And they keep me aware of what's going on. So if you are out there just to create toxicity and drama, and you only gain views by putting a person's name in your title, how despicable are you? And what does that say about your incapacity to actually create content that people will want to watch? Try detailing a car for once, and let's see how that goes. And if you know everything, why aren't you over 500,000 subscribers? Why?
Pan, but then I'm curious. Let's end this way. I don't want to do this again. I'm never going to bring this up again.
It's a waste of time.
What I'd like to see is this. I would like to see a place where in the future we could sponsor a 5-on-5 Counter-Strike league. Detailers versus detailers. Here's what I like to do. I like to answer the question that I got a couple of podcasts ago. What does Jamie do and what do I do? Because I think that's right. It's valid. Sometimes Jamie handles Thor Media. Jamie handles the business Thor business account. Jamie handles all the content creation, all the uploading. He handles all the affiliates and the affiliate program. He handles the front of the house stuff. He does all that. So Jamie does all that, and he's constantly on all hours of the night and answering front text.
Dude, he's texting because I'm texting him like, "Hey, my podcast canceled on me on Sunday." That's a whole nother story. Thanks to Eddie and Pan for coming on and creating an epic podcast, by the way. But that happened. I'm texting you guys, and Jamie's always responding back.
Always, he'll text me in the middle of the night, like, "Hey, man, did you get that PO in?" I'm like, "I'm not." It's like midnight, bro. I said, "Ask me tomorrow morning." No, he's like, "No, we need to get it in." So Jamie does a lot of work, man. Shout out to Jamie for all the hustle. The guy is always on, and I appreciate him. But like we're both learning, right? So he doesn't know things that I know, and I don't know things that he know. But I think that's what makes the team work, right? Does that make sense?
I know nothing. So thank God you guys are there.
Oh yeah, Pan does his own thing and sends me nasty grams about customers texting him pictures of empty boxes. And I tell Pan, I don't care about this. But actually, Pan, how do I come at you, Pan? Because they think I'm like, yes, sir, yes, dad. Nah, dude. I'm like, nah.
No, I love the banter, but at the end of the day, this just proves we both want the best for the people who want to support us. So we just want to put the best stuff out there and just work hard, make everybody happy as much as possible. It's a tough thing to do. I'll tip my hat off to the brands who have been doing this for years and years, some for decades, some for 70 years, 100 years in the case of Meguiar's. It's very, very tough to make it out there. The competition is stiff, and you got people coming at you left and right. I can only imagine what the competition is at that top level echelon of like brands who've been there for over 50 years. And the ones who are like in Walmarts and big box stores, right, fighting for shelf space. It's you. Now that I see it from like behind the scenes, I used to see it from just a person observing, and now I'm behind the scenes. So the discussions that I have with other brands and labs and all that kind of stuff are very different now. So it's very eye-opening. If I had a channel and I didn't care and I just spoke about different stuff that goes on, I don't even want to talk about. Okay,
bro.
Jamie works hard, bro.
Dude, he's a grinder.
And Eddie, you work hard. And Pan, no one mistakes you for someone who is just coasting by. What is your
Thank you.
What is your hourly flow in your day? Like this is breakfast time for you?
No breakfast for me, but it's a 7-day operation. I spend 4 to 6 hours every day just to reply to YouTube comments alone. So just that. Yep. And I still reply personally every single day. I finally was able to find someone after my viewers telling me for years, like, there's no way you can sustain this. Please find someone. So there's some major things coming. I will announce that in the coming weeks, but I did find somebody to start helping me on that. So I spend 4 to 6 hours a day just replying to comments. I will spend the majority of the time just filming content, preparing content, thinking of the next moves. And since the brand launch, it's a lot of testing, R&D. I love testing, discussions with the chemists. What's the future as well? Because we launched the initial core, but now I got to think of what other stuff that people want to see in the lineup. And I love the feedback for that. So my viewers gave me like, we want this. So now we're working on that for 2025. So I thought it was way too much work before. Now I'm just like drowning in it. So I'm going to have to start delegating and hiring some help, because it's too much for one individual. One channel alone operating that is just insane. And this adding the brand on top of that is I barely sleep. There's nights I'll have 3-4 hours just thinking constantly, like, this is the way my brain works. I can never shut it off. For me, it's I'm lucky my wife supports me in all this. We've been together for almost 14 years now, because I sometimes realize I do way too much. It takes away from my family time and my personal time. So I have to rethink how I'm going to do this. I've been on YouTube for almost 9 years. In April, it's going to be 9 years. So that's
the
crazy.
hard part too, Pan, because it's like me and Jamie. I am on my phone more now than I was. Dude, this is a true fact. I work more now than I did working 3 jobs. Because at the end, I had to quit one to start the other one. Does that make sense? So y'all support Jamie, because that guy he'll be on at 1 a.m. and he's in CT time.
Yep.
And he'll be like, hey Eddie, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down to MTE and we're gonna hang out with Nick Rudder and we're gonna make a show there. Then we're gonna drive back to MTE. We're gonna film together.
We gonna drive back to MTE. I love your imitation.
And
man.
he's like, he'll talk. He go, Eddie, you know what I need? I need muffin tops and coffee. Okay, we're gonna have muffin tops and coffee, and we're gonna film some stuff. It's insanity, Eddie. It's insanity. But for me, it's like I appreciate him a lot, because we've taken strays, but I'm here, baby.
Maybe we're not right in our minds, right? Like this level of hard work. I remember, and I saw in the comments somebody said it's because you're Greek. My dad immigrated to here with literally like $40 in his pockets. He had nothing, and he had to build everything from the ground up, learn English, learn French, and he wanted to make his life better for his children. So he like worked all his life. I remember seeing him 6-7 days a week. He was in construction, so he'd be the first one on the job site, the last one leaving the job site. Crazy hours. And he always taught me, you got to work. So this became an obsession with me. Like, he put this so embedded into my brain that the only thing that I feel I need to do all the time is work. I feel guilty if I take time to just relax. I rarely have time to just relax, which is not healthy, right? The balance of work and life balance, I still haven't reached that, which is not good at 43. And so we have issues. Like I think I need help. It brings you good things, because I never think I would have been able to get this far if I wasn't a hard worker, because it's a lot, man. I understand content creators that struggle and we're like, am I going to just drop this? It's too much. YouTube is like crazy demanding, and owning the detailing products business as well is just another layer. So I still have a lot to figure out in life, mainly how to have a better life and work balance, I think, and spend more time with friends and family, because I'm sacrificing a lot for all this.
I really appreciate how upfront you've been about it. I don't think anyone, out there, maybe it's so hard to like feel.
Hey, what's
sorry
wrong with this
for,
dude? What's wrong with this dude? What's up, bro?
What's up?
Like, this guy, like, bro, what's up? Give him the link and let him come on here and talk. Send him the link.
We don't need. What are you talking? Who is this guy?
I don't know who he is. Like, he's got a lot to say. Like, I don't get
Whose
what he's saying.
podcast is this? Who's
all right.
that in comments?
Sorry, Nick.
Eddie?
My fault, dude.
Whose
my
podcast
fault.
is this?
Hey, my
Only
fault.
I had the comments. I don't do much. I just sit
Hi
here and
guys.
listen.
Hi,
No,
my name is
I
Jamie
love
the Cleaner. My name is Jamie the Cleaner. All right, go ahead.
you got an Ivan impression?
Oh, this is going to be a first for me.
Oh, even Ivan wants to hear it. Ivan wants to hear it.
I asked Jamie and Eddie to imitate me when I wasn't Pocatello at Eddie's house. I want to hear this Ivan one.
Hey, Ivan, I don't have, dude. I love Ivan. So shout out to Ivan, dude. Shout out to Sylvie. I don't have an Ivan impression, and until
That's
you
all
make,
right.
I don't have.
So
one.
for Ivan, you have no impression, but for me, you do, eh? You have a
Hey
pocket
guys,
full of
hi
impressions.
guys. This is Pan. This is Pan.
Guys, do
Hi,
I
guys.
really, guys? in
Yeah,
the
you sound
comments,
just.
do I really
Dude,
sound
you-
like that?
Hi guys, this is Pan the organizer.
Like if that's the way I sound, I don't understand how people subscribe to my channel.
Hey, 'cause
I
you're
would
very thorough,
unsubscribe.
man.
Click.
I want to ask for this other $50 gift card.
Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
give one more away? I mean, we've
Yeah,
been
sure.
over 200. This is the last
Yeah,
one.
sure. Give it away.
So I want people to remember where Eddie comes from. EC Details on YouTube. What is his most watched video now? $50
Ooh.
House of Rags gift card on
Can it
the
be
line.
a short? Because that's like 1,000.
No, I want your long form, and
Ah.
so I want them to tell me what your most viewed long form video is.
Hey, Pan, can you do an Eddie impression while
Oh,
we
wait,
do
before
this?
that,
Okay, I don't-
love Victor's comment. Can Nick do an Ivan impression?
I don't have
Nick, this
an
is
Ivan
Nick,
impression.
Nick.
I would.
I don't
love-
have an Ivan impression.
You cannot not
Okay.
have an Ivan impression.
But here's the thing. It's like, let's say it's midnight and we're filming, okay? And I'm starting to fade. Ivan's like this energizer buddy that as it gets to be like midnight or 1 a.m., he gets more energy and I just like droop down. That's all I can think of in
No,
Pan
Nick,
saying
that's
he
not
doesn't
good
sleep.
enough. This is
That's
Nick
not
at
good.
night. I want Nick unleashed.
Yeah,
you've been a
Nick,
partner with this guy
you
for over
missed a
2
spot.
years
I don't-
now. You can come up with something. Come
I
on.
give-
Nick, let me
Don't
hear.
Don't
Let me
disappoint
hear.
your audience.
I just tried it. That was it. Nick,
That's funny,
you missed
bro.
a spot. I don't know. It's all I got.
Can I
After-
do one? I'll try my best Ivan
Oh,
impression.
you've got an Ivan impression? Okay.
I don't know. Let me
I'm
try
ready.
something.
The people need it.
All right, so you're going. Let me just my mustache. You're going to take this sponge in the rinseless wash bucket. You're getting it to the verge of dripping. It's only on the verge of dripping. You see this? It's the verge, and it's dripping just a bit. Just that. You dunked it, and then we're going to take a towel. It's dunked in a rinseless wash. Wipe it with the rinseless. Spray more rinseless. Use the rinseless. But then you take the other rinseless. You put more rinseless in, and then it's just remember dripping on the verge, and then the rinseless. But you just don't, you wipe it with the rinseless. I sleep in
Do you
rinseless.
rinse?
I wake up to rinseless. I don't know. Rinseless doesn't mean you never rinse. You only don't have to rinse at the end. So it's all
Okay,
part
okay.
of the system, guys. It's the system.
I love it. I love it.
I feel it was
it's kind of
horrible.
funny for me, but then when I get off this podcast and I stare at a screen and it's just Nick and Ivan, so my whole life is listening to Ivan. So like it's kind of
funny,
funny.
dude.
It kind of hits close to home.
He is a. I
it's a
will say
vibe.
this: he is a great human being, and he's another person with such a great heart. And the same for you, Nick. I've gotten to know you now over the years, and it's funny how people who are alike hang out together. And I think that's what I appreciate. Just kind-hearted people who have a passion for detailing and who just want to share that passion with other human beings. At the end of the day, that's what it is.
And if I've learned one thing from Ivan, and it's been a lot of things, it's the value of customer service, right? So for everyone listening, over 200 people still on this podcast, shout out to you guys. If you're starting a mobile detailing business, always remember it's customer service. Like that is what you're running, is a customer service business. Because the first hire we had at DIY, as far as I can remember, was like, we need a customer service rep, right? There's just too many people we need to get back to, respond to, have issues on YouTube, on Instagram, and there's only so much we can do. So it's like, you got to take care of people if you're running a business. And I think that's a lesson that we can take away no matter what industry we're in.
Hey, Nick, can we have Pan do my impression?
You got an Eddie impression? Let's go. LFG.
I don't know. Do you want me to do an Eddie impression?
Yeah, let's
I've
hey, make
never
sure
even-
don't get us canceled.
No. Okay. I got to be very careful. First of all, I got to stand way far from the mic, like you can barely hear me. Hey, man, like how those H's on Fremont Street. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, hey, yeah. Can you guys still hear me? Listen. Listen. Hey. Listen. I don't care. I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna punch you right in the face. Anyways, listen, guys.
Oh my!
And I'm going to give you explanations. Wait, okay, the mic is here. So I'm going to give you this is me filming a video now. I'm going to give you a tutorial, guys, today. I'm not going to show you how to mix stuff. I'm not going to tell you how to do this. You're going to figure it out because you spray, you wipe. This is me wiping. I'm actually a very good machine polisher, but people don't know because this is me on the camera. I'm just wiping. And I'm holding the polisher with one hand. Shoot, guy.
Don't forget, you got to get that camera up really
Oh my
close.
lord,
Eddie.
Nick, don't
Eddie
come
loves
at me
the
sideways.
close up. Yeah, there it is. That's an Eddie video.
I'm talking to you. We're going to do something cool.
That's it right there. That's it right there. It's the close up, Eddie. Oh, it's the close up. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my lord, fan! But you gotta tell him how I taught you how to polish because it took you 30 minutes to do a panel.
Eddie,
That's
did we-
actually a good one, right? And viewers know I'm such a perfectionist and I want everything perfect, right? So as we're filming this video, it's side by side on the hood, Nick, right? I don't know if you saw that video. So I'm there like taking my time. I want this to be like amazing and gliding because I want to show people how to do it properly. I got my man Eddie here mowing through the whole thing and I'm looking at his side. It looks amazing too. So like we achieved crazy results, but he did it in like a 10th of the time. I'm like, what is on with this?
I was
guy?
staring at you in the video, and the guy you hired to do your video didn't cut that out because I was literally staring at you for 30 minutes.
And I realized like doing this with Eddie in person, guys, the level of respect I have for this man's machine polishing abilities is he is nuts. Not only fast, but you still get that crazy result at the end. So yeah, no, Eddie knows how to handle a polisher.
We were sitting there for this is the funniest moment. We could be done.
I'm still trying to find your most watched video, Eddie. I forgot we did a giveaway. I got to go back to the chat.
Go back and do it. But this is Pan.
All right.
We're sitting there, and he shoots his video. First of all, it's 99 degrees outside. He shoots his video. I don't have AC in the garage. He leaves me and Jamie to finish the rest of the car, and he goes inside and sits down.
No, wait. Who told me to go inside and we got this? Because this was one of your customers'
for
vehicles,
30
right?
minutes, guys. It's so hot. Guys, I can't.
Oh,
I keep my
I can't stand
guys.
it. That's true.
Guys, I keep my garage at 68 degrees. Perfect. Guys. Guys. And Jamie's like, just go inside, Pan.
And the funnier thing too, I'm like, well, this is gonna take them forever, right? I come in like the garage 20 minutes later. We're done. The whole thing. I'm like, what? What do you mean you're done? Like, yeah, dude. What are you talking about? We got Eddie polishing this. We got Jamie polishing this. Bing, bam, boom, done. Yeah, that was amazing. What a fun time.
Hey, quick congrats. I wasn't listening to any of that. Scott Kelly wins the absolute rinses versus DIY detail rinses. A lot of y'all said rinseless combo, but he got the exact. He probably just copied and pasted it from your channel, Eddie. But it's all right. I hope you win and subscribe to EC Details as well. We could go on about this for a long time. I may or may not have to pick my kids up because instead of having my kids today, because I had a podcast done that got canceled on me that I did anyway. I have an obligation.
Tell us about that. Because you were pretty pissed off. Nick, it's your turn. Tell
All
us
right.
about what happened.
There was a guest I had. I spent probably about 7 hours on this podcast, from recording it to highly editing the intro to make it interesting to playing out the rest of the podcast. And maybe I handled the communication wrong because the thumbnail went up, and let's just say this person didn't want the podcast to go live. And didn't like the thumbnail, didn't like that I hadn't mentioned to this person that we were going to do the video in 2 days, didn't like the information that was shared in the podcast, even though it was shared in the podcast. Anyway, that got canceled on me, I think, yesterday. So
how angry were you, dude? You were
anyway,
so pissed.
I appreciate all y'all.
An interview was supposed to happen and never happened?
Oh, not only did it was like a couple weeks in actually scheduling and then recording. And then I did all the work editing it, and then I had the thumbnail and everything ready to go. Then it was like, I don't want this to air. So I was fine with that. It was okay.
So you're saying basically Eddie and I are just some fillers tonight?
You're just some fillers, some
Okay,
JV,
some
you know.
fillers.
You got your shot
I'm
tonight
taking notes,
in prime
Nick. I'm
time.
taking notes.
You got your shot in prime time. I think you did all right. Everybody, I appreciate everyone.
The audience is amazing.
Yeah. David Graham always thought Nick never got pissed.
I had Nick get mad twice. He got so mad when we were polishing his car.
What?
Like, we were polishing your car, and Isabel was wiping off the. We were putting on like DIY 5-year when it first came out, and then you got so irritated by how hot it was that you're like, "F this, let's go smoke a cigar," and you left the high spot all over your car.
Bro,
Your own car has high
I love high spots. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've said this before. It's protective paint. Number two, if I'm hungry or tired, it's rough. I want to be tough. I want to be like, one of Vince Lombardi's like Green Bay Packers and the Tundra, you know what I mean? Like battling it out, playoff football. I have that image of tough guys doing hard shit in the cold when things aren't going well. But sometimes I just fold, Eddie, and that was one of those moments.
You were wild, dude. You were like, I'm done.
Wow.
He dropped the polish. Look, he dropped the polish. He's like, he drops the towel, and then he used my client towels to clean the door jam. We're not going to talk about that. He literally walks out of the garage. He goes, let's go.
Wait. Some expensive towels to wipe door jams?
Yeah.
He did not do that.
Yeah, and
Nick,
Ivan took
say
it
you,
to-
did, you didn't do
When
that.
when
100%.
Ivan's away, Nick will play. All right, Eddie's got like freaking cotton candy, like
We're letting
dreamland, like
Nick
everything.
loose.
Everything in your garage is so much fun, Eddie. I'm gonna grab the clean towel and I'm gonna do the door jam. You know, $4, $5. See ya.
If there's Ivan using it to do solutions finish on a brand new Klein towel, he goes in, grabs it, does solutions finish. I get super pissed at Ivan. I'm like, Ivan, why couldn't you use the cheap towels? He goes,
Oh dang!
it's just a towel. It's just a towel. Like, it's put it in rinseless. That's Ivan's thing. Just put it in rinseless. And then
Dang, bro.
Jamie
It's
comes
true,
in
DJ.
and Jamie does takes 5 packs of my towels, knowing that we didn't have towels coming for a long time, uses it all up. Nick comes in, uses all my towels for door jams, opens a new pack, uses for door jams. I finally gave up and just gave it all away. Like,
Dude, Sal,
yeah, see,
those Clint Korea towels are great on door jams
door jams it was rough.
and toilets. No, dude, I still
Clean
I still
towels
love-
on
Yo,
toilets.
I
no
still
joke. This
love-
guy is a savage. This guy right here in the corner, Nick at
Oh.
night, savage.
Yo, you got to change the Nick at night to like too loose with Nick, or the goose is loose or something.
Oh, man. Well, hey, you guys, this was totally unexpected and absolutely amazing, and I hope we can do it again in a few months. Maybe like check in and maybe lessons
Anytime.
learned. You know, that'll be like
Anytime.
twice the amount of time you already been in business. So I'm sure a lot of.
I'm
crazy
never
stuff
bringing
will
this
happen.
topic up again. This is my last hurrah. This is my final. It is this. You could take the information with it, leave it. We do got an investor. If he wants to show his face to come on the podcast, cool. If not, I'm not really worried. But I appreciate everyone for shopping at Thor. Nick, thanks for having me. Pan, thank
Thanks,
you.
Nick. Yep.
And then
Thanks to everyone in the comments too. Like,
Means a lot.
crazy support. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna try this real quick. It may or may not work, and it's not working. I think it'll go once I press the end stream. It's the outro.
what? No, you gotta do the outro, dog. You
The
gotta hit
outro. The outro I think goes if I press end stream.
right. No,
right.
no. You
No?
have to hit the outro.
Watch this. Watch
What
this,
is
everybody.
going on?
Hold my
Everybody take
beer.
care.
Who's doing
See
this?
Hold my beer. Peace out. Watch.